Mark, you're still recovering from Friday. You're silly. Good for you, man. Awesome. All right, let's look at this. We got the SPY 30-minute chart. Let's get the levels there. And oh man, once again, nothing to work with. Wow, what a shame. But I'll show you something real quick. Look at yesterday's high. You can see it's basically been pushing up, and yesterday's high is right there. And that bounce off of yesterday's high is very positive. That's a bullish setup right there. It seems to be happening right now. Yeah, just in the last minute or so. So if you're just picking up levels, yeah. If it bounces a truly find a good buyer sitting at yesterday's high, that could be the setup.
Avi, on Friday, I noticed somebody placed like $125 million worth of calls at 643 on the SPY.
Really? So at 643. So
yeah, with the Friday expiration.
So truly, if it breaks out of the pre-market zone and through 640 early in the day today, could have a good run, yeah? Possibly. That is interesting. No, Mark, that wasn't me. I didn't place any orders overnight or on Friday. No, not me. All right, put all the wires out of the way, I think. All right, so we have some time till the open. Let me know what you have on your minds. Once again, the levels are too tight for me, so there's no setup, no trade. I just can't find anything these days. But let me know any other tickers you want to discuss before the open. We have about 12 minutes or so. All right. Boy, I got all kinds of screens open here. What do we got here? Suzanne, Tesla. Oh, you're new here. Welcome. Okay, Tesla. We have, again, these levels, but not really useful. Yeah, remember we were talking about it on Friday. That big double bottom happened overnight between Thursday and Friday, and sure enough, Friday was the move. How far did it go? Went up to pretty much where it found resistance. I'd say the move off of the double bottom is over, so you don't count on that reversal. That reversal is done. You can see it already pulled back and did all that, and now what you're seeing is it's gapped up overnight, but still inside yesterday's range and a decently tight pre-market range. I would really like to see it break through yesterday's high. And I think if we see that, then you have a good move up into this choppy zone here, about 332-ish. You might get $8, $9 out of that going upwards. Down it could go, but it's messy. Going right into where it got messy on Friday. I'd just be careful of it. So you might want to take a pre-market high break, which would be a scalp up to yesterday's high or Friday's high, and then another break beyond that. Things to look for. Unless it goes down truly, then you're looking at a bounce and you have buyers down here. You can see that. And then even further down, these are potential reversal zones if Tesla's bearish up front and then reverse from down there. Recent buyers in these areas. That's cool. I think there's some potential on this today. Yeah. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I've been just looking at Oracle here. In the pre-market, two massive 30-minute bullish candles. Whatever your thoughts are on that.
Oracle. Ooh, big candles. Oh yes, Samanjit's been working on this. Instead of looking at the 8 a.m. candles, look at basically just the largest candles in the pre-market and go off of those. Just measure moves from those. So that could be something we can work with today. But what you're seeing, anyways, from now, looks like it's been decently strong. It has a gap up. Is there news on this to make it gap overnight or over the weekend? And now there's activity in it. Sounds like a catalyst. Is there high volume? These are things to watch. It's right into this area of trouble. You can see the absolute high about there, which lines up with so far pre-market's resistance. Yeah, that's the key. You can see over here, this was support and it broke down and it turned into resistance. That's a key level. You can trust it. So just under this 248 zone, either, well, that's a place to begin a trade from. So far, it's resistance because that's what it has been most recently. So you think of that as resistance. Unless it breaks out and bounces off, then it turns resistance into support. Then you have a long. Then you're going into the 250 zone, which is a pretty obvious round number, and you have obvious resistance up there. So that's a good catch. I like this level. There's something going on there. And then you have obvious areas down here around this 245.50. Again, that was pretty much the previous day's high, as well as, yeah, it's broke out. It hasn't truly bounced off of that. It bounced a little higher. But that's, again, an interesting zone. You can see where it was support and turned resistance, and it's been support, did a breakout. There you go. There's some interesting levels there. But what's with it? Is there some news? Otherwise, it's not worth trading this sort of thing. It doesn't usually behave well for day trading, unless there's a catalyst.
Yeah, it just says that it's in talks for $100 million cloud deal with Skydance, Paramount merger. So there's some sort of a catalyst.
Did they release in any sort of numbers that would give you the value per share, anything like that? Usually in takeovers, they have that sort of thing. You're going to buy the company at this number of dollars per share, something like that.
Let's take a look.
Suzanne, you're looking at SMCI. Oh, that gapped. Let's see if we have these levels. These don't make any sense. But once again, with the gap on SMCI, you probably have a catalyst. In this case, you'd just be looking at pre-market breakouts. Ideally to the upside, ORB's going up makes sense, and using pre-market high as ideally a good breakout zone. And you're scalping that thing. Because if there's a catalyst on this, you expect a lot of volatility up front at the open in the first 15, 30 minutes. And that's when you have those ORBs. And so keep an eye on that. I mean, you could also get it to the downside, sure. But generally speaking, everything's going up. So ideally, actually, the best setup, the one I like, is it drops off the open, then reclaims its opening price, and then shoots up through pre-market, which is the fallen angel setup. Those are the best setups for these scalping opportunities on gapping up catalyst stocks. It's the one I like to see. Vinay, you're saying Wolf adjust price target on Oracle to 300. Okay. Does this guy Wolf get much traction? If he says the price is 300, does that mean it goes to 300 today? It just jumps? These are things you want to be careful of. Probably not going to happen today if it does happen. But anyways, you know how these analysts are. You got to treat these price predictions more as just some catalyst. It just brings volume into the stock. Don't plan for these guys to be correct. They're usually not. They themselves are just pumping stuff on social media. What's happening with the SPY is, yeah, there you go. I like that. All right. What else we got? 5 minutes or so to the open, guys. Went through SMCI, Oracle, Tesla, and a half strength espresso. Anything else? Anything else we want to talk about? Still got some espresso.
Ooh, Abby, thoughts on Amazon? The only concern for me is the large wick on what day was on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
But if it breaks above, let's say 234 level, I think it could run, but it's that wick that throws it off.
Yeah, you got firm resistance overhead. You think you know you got to see about breakouts. What's truly important is that it keeps bumping itself into that area. Let's say you have 234, right? It touched there and it got firmly pushed down. It didn't even get up there yet so
Mhm.
far. What I'd like to get set up for a breakout is a good quality consolidation that sets up for the breakout, which would be it keeps bumping its head on that level, right? In that's telling you the seller's not truly able to push it down, and that's what sets up for the breakout. The more often it bumps into a level, the more likely it is to break through it. If you have 234 as a level, I'm not seeing any breakout activity. I'm seeing that's firm resistance. The buyers there are just selling firmly and taking over. So be
That
careful.
long wick was the price never went there. It was a weird misprint on take at the close. It was weird. Price never went there.
One of those, huh? One of those,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. All right, there we go. Dennis, AMD, just nice little ABCD patterns going up, huh? All the time. But yeah, you would think about a pre-market breakout, but I don't see much. Again, I don't see a setup. It's pushed down firmly from there. Once it gets back up to this 170 zone, then ideally a good little consolidation on a 30-minute chart with ascending lows, a flat top, and then you get a breakout. And these levels are pretty tight anyways. You don't want to use these levels today. They're all tight. Generally bullish. But where's your setup? Where's your level to go bullish from? Where's your breakout? You know, those sorts of things. I don't see it yet. It could happen later. For now, nothing. And Vinay, Nike. Oh, Nike's in play. What's happened here? You guys sold your Air Jordans and all that? All done? Haven't seen one in years. Probably 30 years I haven't worn one. We got, this is interesting. Obviously a big catalyst. Gap up. Again, this stuff that with the catalyst gap up, once again, you're looking for ORB scalping. Once again, with gap ups, I like to see fallen angels. Those are my favorite. But other than that, you can look at pre-market breakout going to the upside. I'm always more inclined to go with the direction of the gap when I'm scalping. So in this case, looking at longs. So you have this firm resistance a few days ago, Thursday last week. It could bounce off of there. That could be the bottom of the fallen angel, possibly. Or it could just sell off all day too. Don't know. But I don't, when it comes to scalping, I don't trust that. I prefer to just go with the direction of the gap and go for your ORB. So you set your bias that way. And it keeps you out of some troublesome situations. Yeah, it's kind of what I would do. So anyway, something to look at. All right. Let's get into the 1 minute charts and keep them up. What do we want to watch today? We got Nike, Oracle, I think. Made some sense. Oh, not really. SMCI, I think. There we go. That makes more sense.
Hey, Avi, how many trades have you had the month of July?
One, I think, so far. Barely. And that too was a tight one. I went with small size and didn't really trust it so well and got a small move.
That's amazing, man, the patience that you have.
Yeah, man. Well, you want to conserve your money, right? You don't want to throw it away. So, but I'm telling you guys, the market is a gold mine. You don't have to trade every day. You really don't. You know, you just wait for your setup and you'll be amazed how much more money you make just by not losing it, right? Money not lost counts in your P&L. Very, very big. And the summer style trading is just not aligned for my headspace. Yeah, man. Don't trade any setup that's not yours. As simple as that. Anyways, the market's about to open, guys. 20 seconds. You know the drill. It is a gold mine. Wait for your setups. And then we'll be underway. We got a few announcements. That's for later, though. All right, there you go. SMCI rejecting off that level. You can see how jumpy it is, right? Look at that. Nike and SMCI. See the candle. So you see the red line moving up and down, jumping around, not even moving, just jumping. This is where you don't touch it. It's the whole point of staying out the first few minutes. It's too jumpy. It's too risky. You know, it's not even worth looking at. Look at it after a minute or so. Oh, man. Oh, man. What am I missing here? Something's not in the right place. There we go. All right. Okay, got all the distractions out of the way now. Good. So Nike, so far hitting that level, not breaking out yet. Just watch it. You want a good breakout there, but again, wait for it to behave right. Otherwise, very difficult to trade. I'd like to wait for a consolidation, little 1 minute ABCD, and there you go. SMCI did that 1 minute ORB. There you go. Again, tricky to catch. Things looks like it's on the move, moving very fast.
AMD breaking out.
AMD as well. All right. Yeah, there was no 30 minutes set up, but yeah, not too different to SMCI. Yeah? 1 minute ORB stuff. What levels could we have on AMD? Oh, yeah, just have pre-market high. Not too complicated. Again, for ORBs, pre-market highs and lows are pretty useful. You're just scalping through those levels or breaks through those levels. There you go. AMD looking like perhaps a retest of that 170 zone. Ideally, want it to come in a bit deeper and then go up. But let's see. See Nike struggling right there. That level, very key on a 30-minute chart. You want it to be a good breakout. Still wait for it. I'm not sure what's down there. Probably the VWAP or something. You want it to bounce off of that. That would be good. Same with SMCI. And there goes AMD. Didn't really pull back. We're looking at Scott Meta. Oh dear, here we go again. We're gonna have some fun today, huh? It's only Monday. We're not allowed to have fun yet. Come on. Meta. Let's look at this. Yeah, pushed right into these resistance zone from Thursday. We have the previous day's high as well. Looks like it's holding above. Yeah. It just shot right up. Again, if you guys really like scalping and all that, you want to enter close to the VWAP or the 9 EMA. Watch where that is on Meta. It's probably extended already, far off. Again, it's all very subjective. It's one of the reasons I don't like scalping. Just avoid the whole thing. And here you go. Your ORB going to the downside looks like might be happening on Nike. But again, Nike is tricky. It's got catalyst. It's gapped up. You want to be careful with it. Printed a new low. For all you brave scalpers out there. All right. What else is good here? Let me know what y'all want to look at. I'm just not even, honestly, I'm not even interested in the market. It's no setup for me at all.
Ooh, NVIDIA breaking out with that as well. Yeah.
NVIDIA. Watch that high of day break. That could be good. High of day so far. It's choppy though. That is firm resistance up here. It told you that in the second minute. But these ascending lows, yeah, higher lows. Interesting, right? Could be a good setup for the breakout going up. What is it on a bigger picture? What do we have? Is it all-time highs still? NVIDIA.
Every day is all-time high.
Oh, that's right. So that's perfect for you scalpers again. 1 minute ORBs, 5 minute ORBs. That's, it gets volatile at all-time highs. And that's what you want at the open. If you guys are into such things, for those of you who are. SMCI, look at that. That's that bounce, breakout and bounce. Here's where you'd be interested, right? I've got Meta as well, ABCD kind of pattern. Watch it there. These are potential setups. NVIDIA, okay. This is interesting, huh? What do you guys think? Short up here on NVIDIA? Or do you think breakout through that level?
Pull back and long.
Yeah, that's what makes sense to me as well. I'm more inclined for the breakout. Basically, it's a 5-minute ORB that could set up. Watch SMCI, it's looking strong up there. So strong on both these things. Again, on NVIDIA, the fact that it even printed that second time, it printed higher than the first time. And it bumped itself again on that level. So this is multiple times it just hit itself on the level. It's telling me that the sellers truly aren't powerful enough to drop it. They would have dropped it by now really quickly and made a double top even on a 1-minute chart. But I don't see any of that happening. I'm just seeing bullish activity. Just a consolidation, ideally, for the breakout. Of course, I don't think that you should go long now. Personally, I'd wait for the break of high of day, then the retest, then go. It's another slow summer day. What else, guys? Let me know any other tickers you're looking at. You want to look at together? We can do it. For now, just got
AMD.
these. AMD. Oh yes, still going.
Yeah.
Look at that. Didn't even give you a real pullback. Put wicks up here was, I'd say, difficult to enter unless you enter the 1-minute ORB. I would have struggled to enter this one. There you go. AMD. NVIDIA is not having the same strength. Is there any news on this you guys know of? Anything different between AMD and NVIDIA as far as news is concerned?
Not aware of it.
Mm. Yeah. Cool. There you go. All right. So now NVIDIA even pushing lower and lower. Those sellers now look like they're really taking over. Yep. Cool. Interesting. Fun, huh? So on SMCI, if you had entered anywhere in the last, 3 or 4 minutes going long, I would put my stop below that green line there. That's where you know the buyers are. And if those buyers get overwhelmed when it goes down, that's when you don't want to be in it. And then you're just trying to survive the chop as it does this whole big ABCD pattern, go for a break of high of day, and all that fun stuff.
Yep, that's exactly what my stop loss is. I entered right at 56.20.
All right. Yeah, right about there. Yep. Cool. Makes sense. You still want to try and get some good RVR on this, but you're scalping. Cool. Ideally, after the breakout, that's when you can tighten it up. It's got to break and ideally retest from the upside. That's when you can add more. All those things. Cool. Dean, NVIDIA. Yeah, we got into NVIDIA here. So the setup to my eyes was looking bullish, but so far it's pulled back, dropped about 50% of its move already. But as far as the short is concerned, I wouldn't have shorted it. I didn't see a setup. I would always think of this as a long, and of course, no entry for the long. It could still be long, don't know. But there it goes, going down. Suzanne, you're into SMCI as well, 56. AMD as well. Nice. And Meta, who's into Meta? Nice. That big strong move and then just struggling up there. Really struggling. That would have been tricky to catch Meta in the first minute. We didn't look at Tesla today, did we? There's always something on. Nope, not today.
It's not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, well, just purely looking at the 1 minute chart, we may do that ORB sort of thing that we like to do the last couple of weeks. So the whole idea is to identify the opening range. So the top's about there, and the bottom is just about there. There you have a pretty wide range. And then let's see if it breaks out, which direction, and then you have targets. This is just measured move. Just identify the range, which looks pretty large so far. And then you have a measured move. Again, just looking at the 1 minute. Haven't looked at anything else yet. Oh yeah, we did look at this earlier, right? Saying going up would make sense more than down. Yeah, down there. Yep. Cool. So you guys are all rock stars, huh? You're getting long AMD and Meta and all this stuff. All of you. What happened with Nike? We're looking at that. Yeah, rejected right up there at what was that pre-market high? False break and go down. Okay. So anyways, that area down there, 77.53. That's the high of Thursday. That's an area to pay attention to, I'd say. And then further lower, you have the high from 3 days ago. Cool. All right. AMD, huh? This is interesting. AMD also at all-time highs or what? Yes. No. Looks like
No.
No. Okay. Not
Not
there
even.
yet. Not even close. All right. Well, how far you guys think this can go and why? Let's have some ideas.
To the moon.
To the moon. All right. Let's get that rocket ship going. Fire it up on a Monday. To the moon. Yeah. Well, it's using simple measured moves off of the pre-market consolidation range at the bottom and the top approximately there. It would have gone to 171.68 and 173.20-ish. Basically about 173. So far it's hit that number already. So again, all I'm doing is measuring the pre-market consolidation zone. And then these levels are just measured moves off of that. So you have targets in mind. Let's look at the 1 minute chart. And yeah, went there, it's bounced off, not clean, but then 173-ish. So there you go. That's a simple way to have an idea for a target. We got Sujit 174 big order on AMD. All right, cool. So 174, is that also on the? That's right in the middle there. But yeah, nice round number. My bet is that if it gets close to 174, you'll see big orders starting to show themselves at 175. Most likely. Shane, yes, it will get to resistance and stop. That makes more sense than anything else. It will hit resistance somewhere and stop. Oh, man. Cool.
SMCS is playing tug of war.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, still stuck there. But those buyers down there, 55.87, are still holding, hasn't even stepping up a little. The new buying level is about 56.03, it looks like. You can see they're buying up from that zone. But yes, it is a tricky zone. It's not able to break out. It's been a while. Momentum should have come in by now, but all good. If you got a decent entry, you're able to hold through all this stuff with a stop below the level. And just wait and see. My personal trick when I get stuck in situations like this is just zoom out, put it on a different time frame. 5 minute. If that doesn't look nice, just go to 30, and there you go. It hasn't even started to go yet, so just let it be. Personally, I like the 30. I just go to the 30 every time. Makes life easier. Nike, look at that. Looking really weak on a 1 minute chart. This is decent price action for a breakdown. Look at that. Consolidation, go down, all that stuff. There you go. AMD pulling back there. Let's see what happens. These levels are just gonna get in the way. Let's get rid of them.
Ooh, Tesla put in that long wick on the 30-minute time frame.
Whoa, Tesla. Oops. Gosh, I can't even type. There we go. 30-minute big wick. Yeah, so far. It's not done yet. We're only halfway into the 30-minute candle, right?
Yeah.
Wait for it to close, then you'll know. Always important if you're reading candlesticks. But did Tesla gap up? What did it do? It closed there, yeah, gap up and bounce and reclaim its opening price, opening area, opening high even. So this is that fallen angel setup. Looks really good for a breakout going upwards at this point. You have these higher lows as well. Watch that breakout. I think this will be explosive when it happens again. This is that fallen angel that we keep seeing very often in the last couple of weeks. There it goes, new highs. There's something to work with. That opening range and go. There you go. Looking good. 320 has liquidity, I'm sure.
Went heavy on Nvidia long as 74.40.
All right. Nvidia 74.40 further down. Oh, nice. Getting that entry.
Well, we have it went long there. That candle right there.
Nice. There you go. Very good. Still overall bullish because you have these buyers stepping up. See the opening buyer and then this buyer just recently. Good stuff. Ideally, it gets up to this high of day area and then consolidates and goes. That would be the best thing. Very positive activity there. Nice catch, though, getting in there. Very nice. If you guys are using the Fibonacci tool, you may find that that might be that 38% line, somewhere in that zone down there. I don't use that stuff anymore, but you can use all those things. All right. Tesla looking good for the break, but pulled back. Let's see now. I would not think of Tesla as a short again, not up here, even though it's pulling back now. I'd say this is a pullback, not a reversal. It printed a new high beyond that opening high. So it's all still bullish activity. There you go. Watch 320. Boom. It just blasted through that. There you go. Keep an eye on that stuff. What are you guys chatting about here? Alexander, Hood. You're getting into Hood. You guys love all this exotic stuff, huh? What are you doing with Hood? Short? Oh dear. All right, watch that low of day break. Might be happening. It's not set up for it, as in I wouldn't enter here. This again looks like a decent candidate for that ORB stuff. So you have the top of the range there. Oops, I got the wrong line here. Hold on. Let me get the right tool. You have the top there, and I'd put the bottom about there. Top and bottom. There's your opening range, and you're waiting for the breakouts. Just made a new low. There you go. Looking weak. Tesla, look at that breakout retest of the opening high. Things to watch. Good, huh? Nice. Cool. There we go. Who's catching this stuff? Huh? Tesla made sense.
Google's weak.
Google. Yeah, generally pushing down, but man, this thing's got teeth, right? For those of you who are new here, do you all know what it means when the price action has teeth? Would anyone care to share what that means? I'm sure there's people in here who have not heard it.
Them in the brush regularly.
Yeah, go brush and floss and all that stuff. Yes, that's all there. Our Wick City, yeah, Alexander Wicks. That's right. Wicks on both sides. Yes, that makes sense. Google Wicks on both sides, right? It wants to bite you. Be careful with this. Oh, AMD, man. Somebody's super excited about AMD today. It's behaving like there's a catalyst. There you go. Massive push up. Very nice. See, I didn't see a setup to enter this at all. I would have struggled to enter this kind of ABCD pattern that happened here for the 5-minute ORB. Boy, I'd be terrified. I wouldn't touch that one. But, if you got it, it's good. So you have the opening breakout, basically 1-minute ORB, consolidation, one leg up. And this looks like the second leg up. So there you go. But when things pop really fast like this, I'd be careful with it. That's when I start de-risking. When you want things to be in be in healthy price action and really moving continuously through the day, it shouldn't be popping and going. It should be should move a bit, then pull back, move a bit, then pull back. Basically, little ABCD patterns all day. That's healthy. Right now on AMD, I'd be careful because that candle was so big, massive pop, right? You'd be de-risking, as in bringing your stop in tighter, removing the risk on the table, maybe taking some of the position off, just getting the risk off, because it could easily just rip the other direction when it pops like that. There you go. Tesla as well moving. Who's into this one? This was a good setup. Very neat setup.
Yeah, I watched it go.
I'm in it.
Nice. Again, when I used to scalp and trade ORBs, it was this setup that I always wanted. Ideally, gap up and pull down and wait for it to reclaim its opening price and opening high, and that's your 5-minute ORB. And this one was perfect because it even stepped up. The buyer stepped up at the bottom, right? Higher lows, all that good stuff. Now it's popping again. Now here's where that de-risking idea comes into the picture. I'd be tightening in my stop, or even taking partials and tightening the stop, removing the risk or reducing the risk. The target's up there, 322-ish. Was it 322.40? Whatever, something up there. 322.50.
Yeah, I had an idea about it, but I went too focused on NVIDIA, so I didn't take that.
All right, all good. It gets tricky when you're watching multiple things, and personally, what I've discovered since I switched to watching just one ticker is that FOMO is less of a problem, because I don't know what's happening in the other tickers. I don't care. I'm not interested. I'm not going to touch them anyway. So they can go all day long and it won't bother me. But on the other side, if I'm watching like 4 tickers or 5 tickers like I used to, then one of them goes while I'm not watching it, I get upset. That's the FOMO.
Yeah.
Oh, baby,
Yeah.
here comes the buyers on SMCI. Let's go.
Over here.
Look at that push.
Yeah, especially when the tickers are going against each other, like one is trying to go short and then you go try to go other one long, and it's
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. That's called degenerate trading.
What would be a good target for SMCI?
Sorry, what on SMCI?
What would be a good target for that?
Target. Well, depending on the strategy. But let's see. I would just look at the pre-market range and measure it out. Let's see. It seems quite big. Use that bottom there. And yeah, you have the top to break out approximately there. 57.40 is the next level up based on my measured move concept.
ATR is 50 on, so
There are a
Sorry?
ton of orders on SMCI all the way up to 60 on the options chart.
Open interest there, huh?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Can
good
use
to
that.
know.
Yeah, good stuff. SMCI. A lot of you guys were not. Rachel, you're in it, I guess.
I am.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's in the money so far. Wish me luck.
Good luck. Please make sure you have targets in mind before you enter, not after you enter.
I did. My target was a high of day, but then when I saw the buyers like coming in that strong, I was like, maybe I could go for another level. Let me ask Avi to see if he thinks I'm too greedy.
Fair enough. There you go. You're getting the bounce now from the pre-market measured move zone, as well as approximately the first high. Let's see if that bounce truly holds. Then you have the break of 57. A few of the other guys went in earlier, right? Who was in it? Rahman, I think
Yeah.
you were in it, right?
Yeah, I'm still in it.
Still
Still
in.
my
Nice.
stop loss to break even now.
Good. You survived that choppy zone.
I did.
Well done. That's the thing about entries and zooming out and letting it be. Nice. Good stuff, guys. Oh, man. I should go back to scalping. This is just amazing. There's opportunities every day. When people talk about summer trading is no fun, but the truth is, as a scalper, especially an opening scalper, I think there's opportunities every day of the year. There's always something you can that's moving or with a catalyst or something. You never have to think about sitting out because the market's boring. With my style of trading, it's like that now. But for scalping, nah, we haven't had a bad day this summer yet. There's been opportunities every day. Some days more, some days less, but there's opportunities every day. What you got here, Alex? AMD financials, forward plans. Oh, okay. So get chips from SMCI Arizona, even though it will cost more companies. Okay, so basically there's news. AMD and SMCI might collaborate. Cool. Thank you. There you go. That makes sense. So SMCI and AMD, there you go. There's your catalyst. Good stuff.
That's a wild collab.
Yeah, well, all good fun, huh? Suzanne, you're out of SMCI. Don't trust it. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, this thing it's all about scalping. You see the way it moves, it goes, it gets wiki, it got teeth on it, and then it pops out of nowhere. Then you de-risk it. You wait for another potential entry, maybe. Second leg up, maybe. These are all scalping opportunities. There's no way I would trust a big old 30-minute setup on something like SMCI. This doesn't have all that. Sujit, you're in Tesla. What's going on with Tesla? SMCI at high of day again. Watch it over there. It's going to get jumpy. Oh, yeah, Tesla. There you go. Got the measured move. Hit the target. Very good. Man, that's a picture-perfect setup. I've seen a few of these lately, huh? Fallen angel setup on Tesla. Breakout, retest, and get the target. Done. Not too complicated. Again, having these targets in mind helps you hold the majority of your position for the target rather than taking partials or over partialing and then diluting your position and then kicking yourself for getting out too early. That's a problem we all have. So my way of getting around that is have a target in mind before getting in. Personally, I like measured moves. They're just easy, very simple. There's many ways to have targets, but measured moves is basically my favorite way.
NVIDIA bounced off VWAP. If people take that trade, I don't know.
Let's see. It bounced again. You got in earlier with bounce off feet, right? And again now. There you go. Higher lows. You can tighten in the stops as it goes. This is getting into a decent setup for a breakout to the upside. Again, the buyer's stepping up. You can see these higher lows, always a good indicator. But you want a flat top now when it gets up there. Hold below that level for a few minutes, a few 1-minute candles. Make a flat top of it and then a good breakout. That would be ideal.
Level 2 looking good too. There's a plenty order, 175.50 and a little bit above that, 176.
Nice. So those orders are coming on the book, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good. Y'all got to remind me of some announcements when we're done with this session, please. I'm going to forget. So we have some fun stuff to talk about when we're done here. There you go. SMCI made a new high above 57 and looking good, I think. There you go. Continue up. Not too bad.
Avi, you'll be proud. I have not taken any partials yet.
Well done. Good. You got those handcuffs on, the one with the fur on it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, put those on. Oh, he's in simulator, that's why.
No. Today I'm in live mode. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I double, triple checked this morning.
Check it, yes. Make sure this time.
Holy shit, you almost had me there. I had to double check again. I'm like, oh,
Good. Well done.
Oh wow, Nvidia. What the hell is going on? There's something.
Careful there. Nvidia is it's breaking out, but it's again not something I would trust because it didn't consolidate neatly before the breakout. It's bouncing off. You might take the bounce, but that the candles are so big.
Only holding 25% of my position now. So
Alrighty, nice. Yeah, just bring the risk in, tighten up the risk, and then it's easier to hold. There you go. SMCI hitting that measured move target. Let's see what that looks like. AMD as well, same old story. Nice and easy going up. Fun, huh? Fun. Let's look at the SPY and see what happened here. Did it bounce off of that previous day's high? Nope. Broke into it and it's stuck inside that zone for now. We have new 30-minute candles, so let's see. Yeah, SPY is a disaster, as in it gapped up and it dropped right inside yesterday's activity, Friday's activity, and it's holding inside. You got to wait for it to break that high of the previous day, and then you may have something to work with. I think that's the real opportunity today. If that happens, it has to break above it, and I'll put a line there. Just to break above it, hold above it. The buyer's got to be stepping up in that area. For now, the buyers are slowly stepping up, but it's just a great big mess, really.
Abby, would you have taken the AMD 5-minute ORB or whatever, like after those weeks, the 2 weeks right there?
Yeah, no, this was difficult. Even I was saying this even 30 minutes ago. This would have been very difficult to enter, knowing that the sellers are there overhead.
Yeah,
they didn't really push down new lows or anything or lower highs, but those wicks are powerful. Those are tweezer tops. You'd really struggle to do it. The other way to think of it is when it breaks out of those wicks and the next candle bounces off, that's a retest. That could be a way to get in.
But would that be worth risk to reward? Like considering this, right?
Yeah, that's the thing you want to know. And you want to have a target in mind, however you calculate it. So then RVR comes into the picture and all these sorts of things. So I think, the move happened and, decent looking move, but very hard to enter it. I don't see a clean setup anywhere. Tough one there. SMCI did give a good setup, but then messy action, but you could have held through it. Like Ramon held through it, and now it's hit that target and not able to go further for now.
Yeah, I was just speaking on SMCI. Would you mark the range when the market opened from the high and the low, and then the consolidation in between? So from like 56.79 and 55.31. Would you use your kind of mark that range there and look for equal length distance from there?
The way I would do this is I'd probably just mark the first candle. That would be a 1-minute ORB because it really behaved like a clean 1-minute ORB. It didn't behave just like a range bound thing at the open. Let's look at something else that we can compare it to. Not this one. This was better. See, look at Tesla. It was not a 1-minute ORB. The second candle was just stuck inside the first candle for the most part. And it showed you where the sellers are at the open. 2 candles basically there. And even within the first 2 or 3, 4 minutes, the buyers are right there. So you have the firmly defined range. It's not too complicated, right? That's your ORB and go. On SMCI, it just goes. And it doesn't give you like, this is firmly where the buyers are and keeps bouncing off of that. And that's where, you don't have that range. If anything, if you really want to do it, you'd be doing it on just a 1-minute candle, which I think would be difficult and tricky. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that this way. You can see very different activity between SMCI and Tesla. They're both on the screen. You treat them differently. So you don't want to go chasing these opening ranges. If you can't identify it, just leave it alone. Don't identify it. My little trick is zoom out. And for me, zooming out means go to the 30-minute chart. And on 30-minute charts where I found these levels, right? On SMCI, just looking at the pre-market range, approximately the consolidation. That's the bottom, that's the top, and then you have measured moves. That's about it. And basically nowadays, I do everything on the pre-market. Sorry, on the 30-minute chart. I don't do anything on the 1-minute for my trading. There we go. SMCI hit the target. Tesla measured move. As expected, it's getting stuck in this higher range. I would struggle to short this thing. What do you got, Shane? Google going down? Yes, going down with teeth. It's got an upper jaw, not a lower jaw, if you want to call it that. But Google actually, this is interesting. We were saying it's got teeth on it, but there are ways to get around it. We can again do our opening range thing. Again, pure candlesticks on the 1 minute chart. You're not looking at anything else. You have the bottom. Let's say you identified right about here. You have the first minute, and then within the first 15 minutes, it bounced off of this zone. So use the bottom there, and the top is pretty obvious, just about there. You can see that whole range, and then lower highs, breakout, retest, down, right? So as long as you're entering precisely close to your levels, what you identify as a range, then anything that happens in between the range, none of your business. So if you happen to short it up here, your target's down there, and it's messing around with you on the way, well, that's none of your business. It's just messing around in a range. That's what it does. Let it be. Let it just go. At some point, it'll hit your target, and off you go. You're fine. Take your profits. Same thing here. If you entered short on Google, let's say a few minutes ago, it breaks the low of day, and it might mess around at 192 or whatever. It might pull back, do whatever it wants to do until it gets to the next target further down, which is where is it? Here we go, 191.44. Just about 191.50 is where you put your orders, and just let it be. Happens to align with the lows in the previous few days. There you go, right about there. So that's how I would treat these things. If you really want to scalp, if I'm ever going to scalp again, this is how I do it. Just identify the range, sit out of five or 6 minutes, whatever it is. Identify the range and go slow. But again, I find there's easier ways to make money. What turtle shell are you talking about, Shane? You see, what do you mean by turtle shell? I think I've heard that term before. I'm not sure what it is. You want to share? Again, SMCI is still there, not there. There you go.
Hello?
So this is looking good to
Hello?
break the upside. Yeah, Shane, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally all the turtle shell is just on AMD. Just kind of a big, or was it? No, it wasn't AMD. What was it? Google.
Google, yeah.
Yeah, that big move down right after like 9:45, and then as it starts popping up on lowering volume I have a 2-minute chart, but you want to see it come up like on lowering volume, and then slowly, like as it's making the curve, really sell into it. But my rules say that the turtle shell has to be inverse, like in the direction it's going. So it pops down, comes up on lowering, and then just sells right through it.
Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do this setup where it'd test that 5-minute ORB to the bottom side and then sell through, but you get this stone wall that it's doing exactly.
Okay. There you go. That makes sense. Curved patterns. Yeah. Good stuff. There you go, guys. SMCI as well now. New high. Breaking high of day. So as far as that consolidation is concerned, that it just seems to be breaking out of now, it would never have been a short because, well, the sellers would have really pushed it down, make a good double top, all that stuff. You want to see all that. None of that happened. It just consolidated with higher lows, generally speaking. And that gave you the indication that either it's going to stay there or it's going to push up. The sellers are not there. A few of you are in it, right? Rahman, Rachel, you guys still in this? Holding?
Yep, still holding. Diamond hands.
Still in it for now, yeah. I set some targets that haven't got hit yet, so we'll see. But at least I have my stop losses in place, so it'll be a green trade either way.
Very good. Good stuff, guys. It's awesome. Being able to hold this is not easy. I find this price action very tricky. But having the right entries, being patient, getting the right entries, and therefore your stop can be in the right place, it helps to hold through all this chop and messy stuff. So good work, guys. It's never easy.
For the first 5-10 minutes, I was with Suzanne there. It was looking weak. I went to the 5-minute chart. I'm like, fuck, this looks worse. But I was like, no, just hold on to it.
Yeah.
It kept bouncing off the 56.07 level, and which was higher than my stop loss. I was like, all right, just hold on.
Nice. Yeah, when it gaps up like this with a catalyst, you're always thinking long as a scalper. Just try and catch the long ORBs rather than the short. Generally, there's higher conviction. And Tesla was the same idea. If you look at Tesla, it was gapping up. You're always thinking long, ideally long through the previous day's high, which is now it's getting there. You don't really trust the short on these things on a scalping perspective. Cool.
When you look at the price action SMCI now, Avi, do you see that maybe buyers are getting exhausted?
It's been messy. Like, this is not any different than previously. You basically have, red and white candles overlapping each other, generally with the higher lows and the higher highs. So that's telling you it's an uptrend. Right now, it failed a higher high for the first time in a while since down there, right? It's the first time now. So perhaps you can say there's a change of behavior now compared to, 10 minutes ago? But again, there's a lot of subjectivity in this, right? Very, very tricky. Very tricky. So if you're in a long, you're thinking, when do you stop? And you think that this may not continue as well. If it makes a lower low, so this would be an idea of trailing. You have this low, you put the stop below, then you have this low, put it below. This low, put it below there. So about 57.10-ish, let's call it, or 57.15, put the stop there. If it comes down there, then perhaps you're thinking, these buyers are exhausted, making lower lows. That's one way to think about it. Again, tricky price action. Personally, I go from level to level. If I find an entry at a level, I get to the next level, that's it. I'm done. I'll take off 80 or 90% of the position, and the rest of it's at break even, let it mess around. And if I can find a chance to add later, if I still survive pullbacks or whatever it's doing, then I'll add and go. But that's it. So I like to keep it much simpler than trying to gauge, when are they exhausted, when are they not. Just go level to level. Easy enough.
Out of NVIDIA, I'm done with my day.
NVIDIA, let's see. How'd you get it? All right. Yeah, you got in that early entry, false break, and yeah. Cool, man. That was a great entry. Nailed it down there. And it failed a breakout. And I was telling you guys, it's careful with that breakout just because it didn't give you a nice tight consolidation before the breakout. And sure enough, that turned into a false breakout, right? Fair enough. You can almost predict it. Almost. Again, it's probabilities. There's probably not going to be a clean break when there's no good consolidation before the break. That's always something you want to see.
I took quite a bit off after the breakout on the false breakout move. I took quite a bit off there, and I tried to enter back on a couple of candles before now, and that failed. So I'm good. This is good Monday.
All right. Yeah. Well done. That's it. Done for the day. You've worked for 45 minutes. That's a great work day, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dustin, go ahead. No, feeling shy today? For those of you who've missed it, please go check out Dustin's webinar from last week. It's freaking awesome. Really, that's a story of inspiration. I'm telling you guys, whoever missed it. And for you new guys in the room, please look at it. Very, very good. Cool. NVIDIA, all this fun stuff. All right, guys, 15 minutes left in this session. Let me know what you want to talk about. Any questions, concerns, comments, whatever's on your mind. Other than this lovely sunset here in Dubai, we can talk about pretty much anything. Would the SPY go eventually? There you go. Reclaiming that previous day's high, and you're long on the SPY, the green line. Yeah, that's your setup. Would have happened a little while back. Not too bad. I used to trade these things just using previous day's levels. This was previous day's high. It came down into it. Once it finds the buyers, and then you're long. This is not long ago. Maybe 6 months ago I used to trade this setup. Should be trading this summer, huh? Since the other stuff won't work. Oh, well.
So that brings up a good question, Avi. How come you're not trading this setup in the summertime?
I'm just not trading the setup at all anymore. I've become really comfortable with the way I'm doing things with the Avi levels. So I don't feel the urge to bring it back just to get a couple extra trades in during July or August or these 2 or 3 or 4 months when I don't find a setup, And there's a good reason I moved away from them. Is because as good as they were, the reliability of these Avi level setups are just better. Simply much, much better. They're easier in the sense of the setups are cleaner. I'm able to, with conviction, put on bigger size and hold for targets. And really have targets also well identified. With these setups, targets became tricky, became really a bit subjective. Think about, all right, it's getting into this zone. This is the next resistance. I might use that as a target, but I'm not sure. It's going to get choppy in the middle, so I might use the target a little lower. It's just, it's tricky. So just going off of daily levels, that's as good as they are, especially these automatic daily levels like previous days highs and lows. I just find the Avi stuff is simpler, mentally less exhausting, easier to put on big risk and hold on to it. So that's my thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
Avi, now where we can find all the recording? Is it in Dropbox?
Yes, in the Dropbox link. That's right.
And we don't have anything in the trading terminal, is it?
No, that's all shut down. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. I was trying to access the link and it's not pointing to correct one.
Yes. There's a ban in trading terminal.
Okay.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know, the all the recordings, videos, even this recording from today's session, everything is in the link. So if you go to the announcements channel in our Discord and go to the pinned posts in the announcements channel, you'll see I've put a link in there. Within that link, you'll see the free material. It'll take you to the online folder where I've got all this stuff organized, and you can access all these videos. So that's where you find it. There you go. Oh yeah, a few guys are asking in the chat. Yeah, please be sure to go look at them. There's a tremendous amount of information in there. Most of your questions get answered, but just by looking at those. And when you're watching, for those of you who are new, when you're watching these live recordings from these sessions, I recommend you go in reverse order. So watch today's recording, then watch yesterday's, and then the previous days. Go watch a few, as many as you can. Going in reverse order helps keep it more relevant. And so that's what I recommend. I should get into the SPY. What the hell, man? Anyways, leave it alone. Irfan, you got Tesla? Nice. Now you got the call out. Good for you, man. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hit the next level up. Fantastic. This is fun. So we talked about that fallen angel on Tesla. It was a gap up. And you can identify the top of the opening range. You can identify the bottom of the opening range. And you identify these buyers stepping up with the higher lows. Then it gets to the top of the opening range. It's tricky to catch the breakout because it didn't give you a nice tight consolidation. But then this particular candle with its really neat bounce is perhaps something you might be able to trust. Bounce off of the previous day's high or today's high. So that's your entry zone for the breakout. Fallen angel, 5-minute RB breakout. You got that level. If you survive the pullback, same thing happened here. Breakout, retest, and you're going straight to the next level up. And that's basically it. I believe this was yesterday's high. Let's have a look. What is this level that I put? Yeah, that previous day's high. So that's a good breakout, I was thinking. And sure enough, it's gone through there. Now it's looking, it's good. But, I mean, you have levels to work with. That break of previous day's high. And, oh, wait, hold on. You're getting into this choppy zone now. Uh-oh. Yeah, be careful. So it's 325.83. Looks good. Beyond that, expect it to get messy on the 30-minute chart. For the rest of the day, ideally, it just kind of, it hits 330, but it's likely to get messy between here and there. Pretty neat price action, huh? It's not too complicated to identify this stuff. It really isn't. Just sit, relax, and you got it. Vinay, what do you say? It's difficult to watch Tesla without FOMO. You. FOMO. Oh my God. Anyone got any tips and tricks on overcoming FOMO? Especially you, Mark.
Yeah, market is a gold mine.
Oh my god.
No place for FOMO.
Mark's gonna give everyone FOMO just by hanging out. Just being here. Oh my god, it's going. Yeah, yo. I love it. Nice. Lana, you got Tesla in the sim. All right, good, good. Sim trading is healthy. Scott also sim, Tesla sim. Nice, both of you. Mark, if you speak now, man, you can speak. It's all fun. I love the video again. You got another video out today, AI video. Fun. Oh man, there you go, Tesla. So this is not a place I would put risk on Tesla. If you're already in it from earlier, great. Hold on to your position, tighten your stop, and add some size, but keep the risk at zero. Break even stop loss, and you're in this thing. Let's see how far it wants to go. It's likely to get choppy overhead, I think. What else? What else we got? What happened with the SMCI?
It's still kind of ranging. It looks like it wants to go down now, just at a lower top, lower high now.
Yeah. Now that's what I like to see. There's your double top. See that top, and then the second one lower with the little arch in between happening at a level you believe in. And where would the entry be? Let's see. You want to, after you identify the second top, you want a genuinely bearish candle. This one is not. It's got a wick on the downside. This one's not. It's got a wick. This one, here we go. The close and the low are pretty much in the same place. And then you can enter the new 1 minute low, which is at the current candle, really top of the current candle, with your stop a little bit above it, so around 57.50, and you target just the next place down. And there you go. That's how you get a reversal. But you got to understand one thing, and we talked about it last week as well. These reversals are tricky. Firstly, you got to be very firm about your entries and all that, because it's, they're tricky. But really, the hardest part about them is once they start to work in your favor, they are usually very difficult trades to manage, because basically the price is just going back where it came from. So in this case, it's going down. It's just running into all the buyers that actually bought it up just recently. So it's, running into buyers in a short is going to make things difficult. It's going to make things choppy. So we got to have some courage to really just sit on it and hold it. So reversals are generally much more complicated trades than most trades. Firstly is the entry, and then secondly is the trade management. In the end, though, you tend to get higher risk to reward if you can really get it right.
Another thing that I've been observing lately is whenever price moves up the way SMCI and all Tesla and all these prices do, is whenever they come down like this, we see the double top looking for the reversal, and then we move our stop losses below those lower highs, like that key level where it's at right now. That's how we get stopped out there. But lately, I've been observing using the fib tool. I noticed that price, when it has a retracement, it usually comes down to the 0.382 level to the 0.5 of the move that happened, and then it looks for another upside. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you're able to observe that consistently, as in look at maybe 30 trades or 100 trades, and if your statistics are telling you that you're able to observe that reliably, then perhaps you can trade it that way. So wait for that retracement to that fib level, and then go long after that. There's nothing wrong with that. So it sounds like this is great. You're thinking independently. You're observing stuff, but then make sure you back test it and sim test it, and go small size when you first go live with a whole new idea. You might have something there.
Because if you look at Tesla today as well, you mark the low of the day to the first high of the day. It set the double top. It came back down all the way to the 0.382 level, wicked that, and then back up it goes.
Yeah. Now the thing is, for me, when I've used the Fibonacci tool for day trading purposes, I discovered that I could not use it on something like Tesla's action today, because it did an opening range on a 1 minute chart. I needed to be firmly directional from the very beginning of the day, not in an opening range, not even 2 minutes of an opening range. So Tesla would not have been one I would take as a candidate. But let's look at SMCI. Yeah, so there you go. This one's been It's not a firmly, not ideally directional because it did get choppy, but you would go, the 0% line is here. And then when you're able to identify the top, then you put it up there. At some
Yes.
point, you'll identify it, maybe down here, you know, be identifying it. And then you're looking at the 50% level or whatever it is, which may be down here someplace. Actually, that aligns probably pretty well with these measured moves, I would think. So you can use that. But again, that's the one rule I discovered that I created when I used to use the fib tool. And it's okay. It's reasonable. But I found it just, again, there's easier ways to trade. It got so tricky just waiting for something to be absolutely directional from the get-go. Every single day, wait for that one, and then wait for an hour till it makes a top, and then a while later till it retraces. And by the time it's midnight in Dubai, man, I don't want to trade. It's late. So that's why I don't do it. But it makes sense. It makes sense. If you want to trade that way, test it out. And again, remember, there's nothing wrong with creating a new way of trading. You got to realize that every way that we know to trade has been created by another person, another human being, right? So what's stopping you from creating a new way too?
For sure. Yeah.
You know, Fib was just another guy. Fibonacci, that Elliott guy was another guy. You know, I mean, whatever. There's so many. It doesn't matter. Bollinger was another guy. So create your own thing if you need to. If you want to, go ahead. That's why I created this Fibonacci stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is because I've been stopped out so many times that on this move here, just for the price to take me out and then go back in that same direction that I was already in. And that to me was very frustrating. So I'm trying to hold on to those trades longer. Like it's doing the exact same thing here as well again. Like I would have been stopped out if I put my stop loss there again today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're fed up with being stopped out that way, then go and explore it deeper. This idea that you've got, explore it a bit deeper. As in, look at price action. You can pull up price action from the recent past and test it out, back test it out. Just do at least 50 trades to get a decent idea. And if it's really making sense, go for another 50 and see if it still makes sense. And then go maybe sim trade it for a bit. See if you're able to do it in real time. That's another challenge on its own. So things to work with. Yeah. Cool, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Good stuff. What do we got here? Adrian, we have Avinachi now. Yes, you do. Yes, we do. What are you saying? Alex, SPY sell-off? You call this a massive sell-off? Seriously? What is this? This is a Trump tweet, most likely. It's just
not even Trump tweet.
Not even a tweet. You talk about massive sell-off. Come on, Alex, zoom out. You're too zoomed in. You're too, tied in there. Just zoom out a bit. Take it easy. Scott, who created the term Avinachi? Someone on YouTube. We're on YouTube, and I was describing this whole thing, the measured move off of this candle. And the point was I was using the Fibonacci tool. I was basically abusing the tool. I recalibrated it or I repurposed it to give me these indications that I wanted to see. And someone came up with okay, so your name's Avi and you're using the Fibonacci tool or abusing the Fibonacci tool. So we call it the Avinachi level or Avinachi strategy. And that's it. You know how YouTube is, right, on the chat. It just gets very noisy in there. T-shirts. You want Avinachi T-shirts?
Avi, you guys start dropping some merch.
Oh my God! Listen, this whole thing is going the wrong direction. We're here for day trading, not for selling merchandise. Fuck, man. I don't want to get into that kind of business. That's another world, I got to manage warehousing and online sales. Oh, the hell with that, man. It's not 80-20. If you want to get some T-shirts printed, go ahead. Whatever. Oh, it doesn't bother me. Gurinder, yeah, Avi8ors. That's a new one we got now. Yes, announcements time. All right, just about 10:30 here, and the market's I think the fun's over. Might as well stop the recording and get into announcements. Oops. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna stop the recording here.